Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to Hip Dad Radio. This is an episode of a show that has not been named yet. This is the first one we've ever uploaded, and the way that it's going to go. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm going to introduce you guys first. This is very important. I'm Reid DJ here at Hip Dad Radio. Right next to me is DJ Matt Kennett and DJ Dig Dug over there, Doug Hall.
Yo.
What's up? So we're hoping that this will be a weekly format, and we would love to upload every single week. And the idea is that we sit down and we just talk about music. I feel like there's not enough of that's being presented to you guys. Like, we spend so much time together talking about music, and it's something we feel like we need to share. So the way that it's going to work is everybody came today to the table with an album they wanted to talk about. We've all listened to all the albums, and whoever presents the album is going to start talking about it, and then eventually, like, we'll all get in there and just kind of get to the nitty-gritty of it, what we like, what we don't like, what we hoped, or maybe we'll talk about stuff that is going to come out. Also, eventually, I'd love to talk about shows that we go to on here. Or even just like individual songs or artists that we found over the week. So we're going to do that, and hopefully it's entertaining.
Yeah. It's gotta
I think
be.
it will be.
It's gotta be.
Yeah.
We need
We
it.
are,
I mean,
yeah.
it's all on the line, baby.
We've invested so much in this. Doug, why don't you start us out, man? Because I know...
Dude, yeah.
we
Didn't know I was gonna
actually...
get picked first here. I like it.
What are you talking about? I told you were going
Oh, what
first.
did I?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Oh,
I was
yeah.
so confused. I was like, what? No.
So I know that
Fine.
you have a lot to say about this album. I know you listened to it today, and I also have quite a bit to say about this album.
Yeah.
But we haven't really talked about it yet.
Yeah,
So I'm really curious to hear what.
Yeah, here and there. The album that we're talking about is the new Flamingos' album, Daymaker. I'm going to read a little description here for you guys to kind of set the tone. And this is from YouTube, and it says, Daymaker is a labor of love that features an intricate mix of samples and live instrumentation. I put everything I had into this. This is from Flamingos, and I'm excited to finally share it with you all. Yeah, pretty exciting stuff. So this is another project from Flamingos. I feel like he's putting out so much music just all the time, and I'm really excited about this one because it's very different from every single other Flamingos' album that I have listened to before. I don't think I've listened to all of his projects, but this one's really different, and it's I think it's a little special too. But I knew that the tone of this album would be a lot different based off of the single. I think it's called Cosmic Feeling. Mm-hmm. And if you've seen the music video for that, it's very cool. It's like these two frisbee, like these Brazilian like frisbee trick artist people thing. I don't know what they call it, but they're featured in a lot of Flamingos' like music videos and stuff like that. And they do all these cool tricks, and it's like so different from the other Flamingos' albums, being that like the other albums are so bumpy and they're so like bass heavy. They're more like dance tracks, really similar to I guess not every other G-funk. I guess this is what this genre of music is called, but it's very much in that like same sort of vibe of what the genre, I at least think the genre is. But yeah, this one's way different. There's like a lot of guitar solos on this one, especially like in the first half of the album. A lot chiller than the other albums too. But I really liked it. I would definitely say, I don't like this as much as like the Count and the Flamingos'. I forget what they call that album. Maniacs. Yep. Yeah. I think that's the coolest Flamingos' project that I've heard, at least in terms of collaboration. But I like this one, differently, and I think. Matt and I always talk about how we always want artists to kind of like get out of their comfort zone and like do something a little different, but like, still stay like true to themselves and like true to their music. But also, who really gives a fuck? I guess like as long as you're doing something really cool, and not really making like the same like copy and paste thing, and especially be it that like, Flamingos is probably in his room all the time, like making these beats, and he goes live on YouTube or Twitch, and I love it. Like I think that's really, really cool. But I think he kind of took like, a different creative approach to this. Maybe took a little more time to like think about like, I kind of want this to be different. No, I don't know. I'm just like putting ideas into his head, or at least trying to put myself into his head. But yeah, I thought this one was really, really good. I don't know what you guys thought about it. I know we listened to a little bit of it before we started this thing, but
I'll speak for someone who's not here. Jet loves this album.
Ooh,
I think this is Jet's favorite Flamingos album now.
Oh.
And I can't elaborate on that more, but he really dug it when I asked him what he thought about it.
He was very excited about it.
What did he say about it specifically that he liked?
He loved how much guitar was in it. He said it was like a guitarist's paradise.
Yeah, as a guitar player, it makes sense.
Yeah, I think I wish the songs were longer. Like I wish the songs were longer, and I just want to hear. I don't know. Does Flamingos just play guitar on this stuff, or is it like guest people that comes on, or like things that he's sampling, or?
I think there's some stuff he samples.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure that Daymaker is sampled, the single.
Okay.
That being said, because I know the lyrics are sampled, so I'm not sure if the guitar is sampled as well. But I feel like usually if lyrics are sampled, other things are sampled too.
Yeah.
I don't know about the rest of the album. I know I know he does play guitar, but I also know he collaborates with a lot of guitar players.
Right.
So I can't really say how much of it is him and how much of it is somebody else. I think if we go on the, Matt, you go ahead. I'm gonna look up the Flamingos.
Well,
Yeah, Matt, what do you think about this one?
I love Flamingos. I think what Flamingos does for me is what not a lot of other like electronic acts like lack. Like when a lot of electronic acts like they sample a lot, and I just feel like whenever I'm listening to a lot of that stuff, I'm just like I'd rather just listen to the samples. But like you said in the description, the live instrumentation that's added onto it, I think adds like so much to the music. We're just listening to this new album, Daymaker. I don't know. We didn't quite finish it. I don't think before we came on this. But I like literally just listened to it. But I was really digging it. I'm more familiar with the one before this. The one where he's like a cartoon character.
Oh, okay.
Whatever that one's called.
Flamingos doesn't account.
The yellow album. The yellow album.
No.
That one.
Bright
that
Moments.
one.
Yeah, Bright Moments.
Bright Moments is.
That's from a bit
I
ago.
love Bright Moments. That's a good
Yeah,
one.
that was like 2015.
That
That
was like a party.
Yeah.
a groovy thing like really got him popular. Like that album did very well.
Really?
Yeah.
Have you guys listened to Great Hair yet?
No.
I've heard.
listen to
I
Great
have
Hair.
listened to this one. Yeah.
Great
yeah.
Hair, I think is he has a lot of albums. He's got 9 albums now.
Mhm.
I think Great Hair is his 3rd best album.
Whoa. Okay.
Maybe 2nd.
Damn.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, those guys have great hair on that cover.
Those guys.
They
So
do.
those are the same guys.
Yeah.
So you can't see this right now at home. I'll slap a picture on it right now. But they're these 2 Brazilian frisbee players that like traveled the country back in the day and like did all these frisbee tricks, and it's really cool. And a lot of the music videos that Flamingos comes out with is based around these 2 guys.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, I was looking at his Bandcamp when you were on it, and he was selling frisbees, and it said
Whoa.
Flamingos' frisbees rare,
Dude, I would love those.
and
Rare.
and they were sold out. So
I'm sure.
So,
That's
I'm sure.
well, it's pretty cool. But no, I love Flamingos. I would love to see Flamingos live, which I hear he's playing in Chicago.
We have tickets.
Yes,
I heard
we're
speaking of
going.
that,
I
we
got-
have
you got
tickets.
me tickets to that,
Yes,
right?
I got
See
pretty
you
much
there,
everyone
people.
in Hip Dad Radio. At least like the main kind of set of DJs. We all got tickets. We're gonna go to
Heck
that
yeah.
show. I think it's
Sick.
at Talia Hall or
It's at
Oh,
Lincoln Hall.
it's at Lincoln Hall.
I would
Okay.
love
Talia
it to be at
Hall?
Talia
Talia
Hall.
would
though.
be
That'd be crazy.
Talia Hall Flamingos would be awesome.
Yeah.
But also,
Yeah.
Flamingos is. Listen, this is what college kids listen to. College
Mhm.
kids like G-Funk. So I
Yeah,
get that he's
right.
playing in Lincoln Hall.
That makes sense.
So
yeah.
I guess based off this new album, do you think Do you think he'll play a lot of this album at the show, or do you think he'll revert back to, like, he'll kind of maybe transitional things will be this, or...
Have you seen him DJ before?
Not a... I've never seen him.
Have you seen his live?
I've seen, like, his live
DJs. He doesn't play instruments.
Oh, okay. I've seen
so he DJs events, and he, like, live mixes things.
Okay. So the same thing that he does on his, like, live sessions,
yeah, so essentially, like, it's going to be, he's going to have all of the samples preloaded onto his DJ set, and he'll just mix the samples in and out, like, as need be. And so, like, the songs, like, maybe in a different order, like, samples might be adjusted in a certain way, but, like, there's not going to be any instruments being played.
I see.
Yeah. So
yeah.
I have a different opinion of this album.
Oh, can I say one more thing before you say your opinion?
Please do.
I really feel like kind of going off the whole guitar thing that, you know, Matt G was saying. I do agree with that, and I think it reminds me a lot of, like, Dubwell. I think that's how you say it.
Yeah.
We're actually not sure.
Ooh.
It's Dubwell or Dobwell.
Dobwell? Dubul?
Dabuli? Maybe Dabuli? We have no idea.
Yeah, I have no idea. But it reminds me of his style of stuff, because some of his stuff is can be very, like, guitar heavy and, you know, not as bumpy. It's more groovy.
Yeah.
And that's why I kind of thought of this album. And it kind of made me, you know, like, I like it.
Yeah.
Not my favorite, but I like it.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was really digging it.
Yeah.
I did get the vibe that it was a little chiller than the at least the one that I was listening to. I forget the green cover one.
I forget it too. We'll look it up again.
Dang, so
there's so many albums.
So, what do you guys think?
Right moments.
I want to know what you guys think for the audience, the first time listeners. What album do you think you guys think you recommend to them listen first?
Ooh.
Oh, definitely a groovy thing. If you're gonna get introduced to Flamingos, a groovy thing is definitely.
I have not heard that one. I gotta listen to that one.
That was very good.
That's like a groovy thing, and Great Hair are tied.
Yeah.
For my, like, second and third.
I really like the one with this kid on it. He's bowling.
Kahuna Style?
Yeah.
Kahuna Style's good. That's, like, pure G-Funk.
Yeah, that was the first album that I had. Well, I think Bright Moments. I heard Bright Moments, and I also, like, kind of listened to that one more. But that was kind of like the first one that I had listened to that, like, really got me into wanting to hear more. Because a lot of stuff isn't even on, like, streaming services. It's kind of like on Bandcamp, or all of it's on Bandcamp, or on, like, YouTube.
Well, you know where you can find this stuff. It's all on YouTube.
Yes, it's all on YouTube.
It's all on YouTube.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
Read a big YouTube music guy here.
Oh yeah, I try.
Or maybe just YouTube in general.
Yeah, definitely YouTube. I spent a lot of time on YouTube.
Yeah,
I spent a lot of time on
it.
We
We all do.
Yeah.
It's the only, like, thing, like, I don't watch Netflix. I don't watch any of that stuff. I
Yeah.
just watch YouTube.
A lot of times I don't have time to, like, watch a full show, so I'll just, like,
my
watch
attention span
clips.
is too short to watch a show. Like,
All right, we gotta wrap up this album a little bit here. So I'm gonna give my thoughts.
Yes.
And then we'll do a final. Do we want to rate these albums?
I don't even know what I'd rate it. I don't even. But
all right,
maybe we can think about that for next time.
Okay,
if we
we'll
want
think
to do
about
that.
it for next time.
Yeah.
I didn't think this album was very good. I actually think it's one of his worst albums. That being said, I still think it's a great album. And if somebody says, like, "Oh, have you heard the new Flamingos album?" I would just say, "Yeah, it's good."
I'm sure you'd be excited that they would.
Yeah,
know
if
what
I
it
met
is.
somebody who's like,
Right.
just came up to me on the
Like,
street, like,
You heard the new Flamingos stuff?
I think there's 3 incredible songs on this album. I think Daybreak, Daymaker, and A Cosmic Feeling are 3 unbelievable songs. They are so good. But the rest of the album didn't do it for me. And I'll tell you why. Because I wanted him to, like, break out of his shell a little more. And I think he did. I think this album is set apart from the rest of his work because it's more of like a jazz lounge album. I feel like everything he sampled was like smooth jazz. And it was just like a little too easygoing for me. If you listen to Maniacs, if you listen to like even his early albums, like it was really bumpy and it was like really extreme stuff, and the samples were really getting distorted a lot. And I felt like the samples stayed pretty pure and everything else he did was pretty pure. And also, if you follow Flamingos on Instagram, which I highly suggest you follow him and The Count. They make beats like every single day, and the beats he makes on his Instagram are way better than the stuff that showed up on this album.
Whoa.
Like, I just know he is way more talented than the stuff that showed up here. And it, like, really upset me that, like, what I had been hearing for the last year when he, like, plays stuff, and I know an album is coming out, that it didn't make it onto the album. Like, it was a lot of samples, it was a lot of guitar. And I wasn't really happy about that.
It sounds like this isn't the Flamingos is for you.
Yeah.
That's what it sounds like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Without a doubt.
I mean, he's definitely going for something different.
He is going for something different. And I think, like, what he was going for, he knocked out of the park, but it's just not for me.
Yeah.
And, you know, I've waited a long time for another Flamingos album. This was
it looks like it's been a while. That was off of the...
It has. Well, Maniacs, there's some albums that haven't showed up. He's made 3 EPs, like, mixes of songs that just, like, don't go together at all. And those EPs are great, and those came out in between this album and the last one. He came out with one of those, and Maniacs featuring The Count. So, like, he came out with an album 17, 18, 19, 21. So he, like, really only missed COVID. It's just not on his discography.
Word. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Noted.
But I will tell everybody who is interested in listening to Flamingos to go listen to his album with The Count, Maniacs. That's very cool.
Yes,
for sure.
That's very, very cool. Yeah.
I got nothing else to say.
Yeah.
Cool. My tank's empty.
Cool. All right. Let's move on.
Let's move on. It's your turn, Matt.
All right. It's my turn. Okay, guys. I chose the album Bowling by Temporex. Really digging this one. Came out, I think it came out like this month or like maybe a month ago, but I don't know too much about this guy, but I was really blown away with just how this thing sounded. I think it's just really unique sounding for something, like, I guess it kind of has that lo-fi feel, but I think it's really well recorded compared to his last album. If you ever listen to his last album, it's a huge step up, I think, and you can hear the talent and the instrumentation really well. I feel like when you listen to a lot of like lo-fi albums, like just on, you know, like David Dean Burkhardt and stuff, some of them just get drowned out and you're just like yawn.
Yeah.
But some of them like really stand out. And when you hear this, you're like, oh yeah, this is different. Like this is like something special. Yeah, so the album's called Bowling. I guess it has to do with bowling. Like you hear a lot of like references to bowling in the album, which is kind of cool. And they're like really clever wordplay.
Yeah, I love bowling.
And yeah, you love bowling. So this is the album for you, Reid. You got to listen to this album all the time, man.
I should.
You should.
That's great.
The album cover is hilarious looking. He's like a really funny looking, like his outfit and like the whole whatever world this is he's living in, like the little claymation bowling ball there.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just hilarious. I was on his Instagram and he like before the album came out, he's like instead of his little picture there, he put a bunch of like different people of like famous people on the album cover. And it was just like one after another. There's like famous like funny little pictures of like random people, like memes and stuff. It was hilarious. But anyway, it's a great album. I mean, the music speaks for itself. I love the first song. Bad Pin is amazing. The song 3 Delayed has a guitar solo from none other than Paul Cherry, Chicago native. I don't think I know anyone else who played on it, but it seems like there's a lot of cool people playing on there. They seem cool. But anyway, I love it. I think it's really cool. They're like I was saying, some of the wordplay was really cool. They were talking about that one song with like somebody called TLC because that's not what to wear or whatever. It's like a lot of like funny weird things like that.
I didn't catch that when I was listening.
So that song sounds really interesting. You said that was your favorite song.
Which song was this?
I forget what it's called. I think it might be Plastic. No, or maybe New Lane. I don't know. Sorry, guys.
It's a short album, so it's
it's about 20-minute long album, but it's fun. It's a fun listen. I thought that song I was telling you about, it sounds kind of like who's the guy who does 1999?
Prince?
No, the other night, the new song.
With the one with Claro?
Yeah, that
oh
album.
Shit. You know what? I'm actually I gotta look this up right now.
Where
Dean Chris Anthony.
Dean Chris Anthony.
Dean Chris Anthony.
Yeah, it kind of sounds like Dean Chris Anthony sometimes with like all like the weird glitchiness of the album. And I think that's like such an
great.
I think that's such an interesting like some of like the bass lines kind of have like a weird like vocal overlay over it, and it's super interesting. So yeah, I'm really digging this album.
Nice, man.
Not much else to say. I don't know what else to say. Okay. Oh yeah, no, that's it.
Yeah.
What do you guys think, Doug? What do you think, man?
I agree, man. I definitely agree with like what you first said about how the other Temporix album. He only has one other album, right?
Yeah, have you heard that one?
I have heard that one. It's like, it's kind of just harder to listen to.
Yeah, it's just kind of like, it just seems like another...
Yeah, and I feel like I haven't really listened to lo-fi, to be honest, in a very long time because of that, because I think, like, the sound is so... It's just getting... It just kind of gets kind of... for me.
It's saturated.
Yeah. And, like, there were parts of this album that the reason why I kind of liked it was... parts of it sounded more like a Home Shake album, and I think
it does sound like that.
Home Shake's production is just like fucking amazing. So it definitely has that.
But it's
vibe.
not as like slow as a Home Shake album.
Yeah, not as slow.
Sometimes slow songs, but yeah.
There's a lot more going on too. I think there's probably more instruments in this one. But yeah, I'm trying to remember when I like first heard Tim Brooks. I feel like I put him like in the same box as like Bane's World. And I think he toured with those guys too. But yeah, I don't know. I don't really know. I don't really have too many thoughts on this one because I've really only given it like one full listen through, whereas paying attention. But I remember when like Bad Pin the single that came out?
The first single I think is Delayed with Paul Cherry on it.
Okay.
Bad Pin is probably my favorite song.
Yeah.
I really like Bad Pin. Delayed is amazing. Yeah.
But I dig it. I'm looking forward to more Temporix. This one, I mean, definitely gets me like more interested in listening to like his newer stuff because I don't know, I wasn't kind of that interested in him when he kind of first.
Yeah, I wasn't.
Came out,
I definitely like knew of the album, but this guy's on the map. He's blowing up. He's blowing up people. Check him out.
Cool.
What do you think, Reid?
There's one way that I would like to put this to describe how greatly I feel about this album. There were so many times we were playing Mario Golf on this couch while we were listening to this and hanging out. There's so many times where I was just like either texting or like watching somebody else play or like kind of just off in the distance, and I caught myself going, "Ooh." Oh,
classic.
I like that.
I'm like, that's interesting. Like,
that
sounds great. Like, what I loved most about this album was how well he used an arpeggiator. There was a lot of really interesting arpeggiation. There's like a whole intro to a song that was just an arpeggiator, which like I feel like I never hear. I thought it was just really interesting and really eye catching. And you're right, it really does set itself apart from a lot of the other lo-fi that's out there right now. And I actually don't think it's as much of a product of it being saturated. I just think it's like so unique within that genre, like the type of production and like the sounds that they put on it. Like it's not trying to be like a bedroom lo-fi.
It's not, but it has the roots of it, you know.
Without a doubt.
Yeah, but it's not. You can tell it's like not that.
Yeah,
it's weird.
Without a doubt. No, I totally
that's what I feel too. Yeah,
it's definitely an album that, it was really unique, and I had a really hard time finding something else to compare it with. I really liked the Home Shake comparison though.
Yeah,
that was really good.
I was thinking that too. Yeah.
Yep. But overall, I thought it was great, and it's definitely going to be something I listen to way more of.
Yeah. Yeah, this will be one that I definitely give like another listen to.
Yeah. I want to hear his first album too.
Yeah, definitely check out his first album too. It is good. I feel like we're like shitting on it, but it's definitely like a good listen. Like it's just I don't think it'll go down like in the Hip Dad archives. It's like check her out. You know, like this is the one to listen to for sure. So
cool, man.
I think that's all.
Yeah, one more album.
One more. What do you got for us, Reid?
It's probably a little over a week now. Tyler the Creator dropped his latest project, Call Me If You Get Lost. And I am the kind of person that has high hopes after one really good album. And Tyler, the creator, just takes those hopes and fucking throws them to the moon every single time. When Flower Boy came out, I was like, wow, this is really good. And that's like when he started working with like Steve Lacy and getting more into like a DIY kind of production mindset. And it was way less about just like conforming into the like traditional hip hop, especially being out of Odd Future and being in a hip hop group. Like I think there's a certain style, and Flower Boy kind of got him out of that. And I was like, is he gonna do more of that? Is he gonna go back? And then he came out with Igor, and he just like went way past all of that. And Igor was just an incredible album. And I just sat there when the album came out, like, there's no way this is another good album. Like, there is just no way. Like, it is so hard, in my opinion, for an artist to release 3 bangers in a row. Like, how many artists do you know that have back-to-back-to-back bangers?
It's hard to do.
It is hard to do.
It's not easy, yeah.
It's not easy. And I listened to it, and I was blown away by how good it is. I'm not going to, like, sit here and tell everybody it's the best Tyler album, but I was not disappointed. I definitely think it's one of his better albums of all time. It's a long album too, you know. Igor wasn't super long. Flower Boy kind of was, but it's 16 songs. It's like an hour long, and you know he does a lot of the production on his own. And I think you say he produced with Frank Ocean, right? You said Frank Ocean and Tyler were working on this.
I have no idea. I don't know who. Maybe someone else. Maybe got that from someone else. I know that they've done stuff together in the past, but I don't know if they did this album together at all. I have no idea. All I know is that there's DJ Drama is like heavy in the album. Oh yeah, Jamie XX from the XX is
really? He's like a producer, isn't he?
He's
cool.
Amazing.
Or he
Very
something, yeah.
Yeah, he's very. I didn't know he was in production. Sorry, Reid, though.
No, you're good. I'm glad that you helped clear that up for me. But you know, after Igor came out and he won that Grammy, he was like, "All right, so who wants to produce with me now? Like, I proved that I could do it." And he did this on his own, and he killed it. And like getting into like how I actually feel about like a lot of these individual songs. Some of them are a little long-winded, if I'm being honest. Like a lot of them are talking, but it's very reminiscent of My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy.
Yes.
Like Devil in a New Dress kind of style.
Yeah.
Which I really liked a lot. It's not quite as poetic, but it still like has a lot of like weight behind those words. And like some of the songs that I think really stick out: Corso, Lumberjack, Run It Up, What's Your Name? Like those are all absolute bangers. Like those are the best songs of the album. Go listen to them. And you want to know what this album reminded me of most? Is Old Kanye. The song What's Your Name I don't know what it was about that song, but it just felt like Tyler's version of All Falls Down.
Okay.
And like I know like the lyrics don't necessarily line up there, but like it was a very similar feel. Like Tyler really broke out and did some braggadocious shit on this album, which he really got. He was hard on it like early in his career, and then Flower Boy and Igor were not about that at all, and he went right back on it, and I was a huge fan of that. So it was a jump, like the same thing that I was saying about Flamingos.